Okay, I guess we're on now. We'll wait for a couple people to hopefully join in. My name's Phil. This is Nick.
Hello.
We found just over a week and a half ago, or around a week and a half ago, we found this Peugeot with only 51 miles on it. We said we're going to do a live video today, just to kind of go over the car a little more than what you guys have been seeing on Facebook and other areas. So we got followers of this car as far as France and Sweden, all over the world, which is kind of cool. So anyways, I know that I did a short video under the car. That is where we're going to start again. We're just going to go do under the car. We're going to do the engine, the interior. That way everyone can kind of see what kind of shape this car is in. I wanted you guys to know that Nick and I, we're both car enthusiasts, but we have zero desire to keep this car. We're looking for a buyer. It is not for sale. There isn't a price because we have no idea what this is worth. There's lots of people watching. Hey, we can see you. But I guess without any further ado, we'll just go back under the car, point out some cool things again, and then move along the list. I'll just switch this over. Sorry, there we go. So again, I know that, I know that I talked about the rear tires about being date coded. I'll just quickly run up to the front tires about them being date coded. There's the date there, 1975. I don't know where the hairs were on this. I had it positioned and then Nick was playing around with it. I'll go show the other side. Date code on this one is, I don't see the date code on this one either. Anyways, there's the hairs there that we're talking about on these tires that are right here. Here's a better one right here. I don't know how well you guys can see it sticking out right here. And they're just brand new tread. They're definitely gonna need, they're probably ovaled, not round anymore from sitting, but it's just cool to see a 1975 tire that doesn't have any wear on the tread or anything like that. And they're all the same all the way around. Underneath the car, let's see here. I know that I pointed out the rag joint here. My wife's car was underneath it. We got the blue inspection marks there on the caliper bolts right here. We got the blue, yellow, from when the vehicle left the facility. New, these were done, the final inspection. White right here from the inspector, and it's just all over the place. The number one thing that we keep on hearing from everyone about this car and what it's gonna need is what, Nick?
All the rubber bushings might be worn out. They're going to be, the structural integrity of eggshells is what I think I heard on one post today, but they're actually quite soft. I don't know if you can see it on the video there, but they're all soft and squishy on the they all have some squish to them. For a car that's been sitting for 45 years, I mean, impressed even Phil and myself. So
this isn't cracked. It's just, there's no grease leaking out. Every single bushing. There's one right here. It's just soft. You know, like I totally agree. I mean, we're car guys. We found cars in all types of conditions. That one's a hard one, but I think it's supposed to be hard, or maybe that's metal. But we find them in all shapes or all conditions, and there's nothing dried out or rotten on this car. It's really cool. Here, Nick, take the phone for a second. I'm just gonna grab the flashlight.
one of my favorite things Phil pointed out on the car, you're not going to be able to see this on the video, but inside the transmission there's actually a date code, and it's stopped in exactly the right spot where you can see 75 on the clutch itself. It's hard to see. I tried to get a picture with the camera, and maybe I'll post that up a little later. But we speculated that the day he brought it home in 1975 might have been a wet day because, well, Vancouver is a fairly wet climate, and in 1975 the street he lived on might have been gravel street at the time with some muddy potholes.
This is actually from when we took the car out. It bottomed out because there was no driveway anymore. It was all dirt. So this section is the only section that kind of bottomed out, and it didn't gouge it or dent it or anything. It just rubbed against the ground, but it's more the splatter that you see all over the car. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool. Another thing to point out was the exhaust. We can get right under the car now. This is the undercoating from when they undercoated the car originally in 1975, and none of it's burnt off. It's all there. It's all over the whole car. I don't know. I can't really think of anything else that I didn't really touch base on in the last video. We can quickly show the rear end, and maybe back at the bump stops. They're all in super shape, soft, pliable. All of these are in super good shape, soft and pliable. We got this side, same thing. All these, there isn't a single bad piece of rubber on this car, believe it or not. And I get it, I know what people have been saying, but this car never saw the sun either. It was sitting in the garage. So anyways,
I don't know if many of you are following it because it's a 504 wagon, or you're a Peugeot fan, or you're just a fan of hearing cars that have zero history but a long history of sitting in a barn somewhere. The Peugeot 504 wagon was designed from the ground up, from the sedan version. It's actually 7 inches longer in the wheelbase, and instead of having independent rear suspension, it's a solid differential in the rear end, and it has dual coil springs on each side with from the dealer suggestion of a 1,400 pound capacity in the trunk of this thing, which is pretty mind-blowing.
I'm gonna start dropping the car. Nick is gonna show what we found in the car.
Spare tire matches the other tires on the car with the date code, brand new. We took it out last week, but this is the other thing. With being in Canada, just want to give a hello to Jim from Edmonton.
Hey, Jim.
Being in Canada, we get the occasional snow here in Vancouver. Not quite as much as Edmonton or the rest of the country, but this car came with what we believe to be a winter package. Big studded, thick snow tires here. And it has a radiator screen in French for a 504, brand new in the package. And we're guessing that was to block out air going through the radiator to help warm it up faster. I have one on my Volkswagen, and being a diesel, it works pretty good. The date code on these tires, we popped the array here. You guys can see that. That's 165, so that'd be January 1965. So these tires were manufactured 10 years before the car was even sold. And they were in the trunk of the car when we got it, so we assumed it was the winter package. So
we don't really know. It is an assumption. We also don't know 100% if this jack is for the car. We found it in it, so we're assuming so, but we don't know where it's supposed to go. So maybe someone can comment, let us know where it's supposed to go. We don't want to start ripping any interior panels off if it's supposed to go, in there, and just guess. But without kind of further ado, we'll start showing the trunk. Let's get a flashlight going on here. Everything's in super good shape. It's just dirty. Just so everyone knows, we're not gonna do any work to this car, and we're not gonna wash it. We're gonna let the next owner be part of the barn find and experience part of the barn find, with having the cobwebs there throughout the car. I mean, you can see them right here. There's cobwebs throughout the car, and yeah, we could clean it, but we don't know what the next owner is gonna wanna do. They might wanna just put this in the back of their shop and keep it the way we found it. The next person might want to restore it, but we'll never be able to recreate this. So that's why, again, Nick and I aren't Peugeot, fans. We don't have a collection of Peugeot cars. So let's get it on to the next person and let them enjoy it. The back area here is in really good shape. Wherever you see like smudges or blemishes, it's just dirt or what have you. Everything's in really good shape, and the shocks still work, which is, I doubt there's a single Peugeot out there that the shocks still work. We'll go over to the engine.
sounds good to me.
Okay, what do you want to say here? There's lots of aspects about the car. Again, down below, I was telling about the paint marks. Here's an inspection paint mark here. There's some down further, there's some on the spring here. It's hard to see, but there's yellow here, there's red there. It's kind of scattered throughout. There's a big orange blob on the side of the block right here. All again from the original inspection. Still got the original battery, and it looks like whoever was running around with the orange or whatever paint pen, they were trying to get it to work right here, and they were tapping it. That's my guess. I don't know. Just kind of cool things. It's still there. Radiator's in still really good shape, with almost no bugs in it. It's hard to there wouldn't be any bugs on that side, but on this side, I don't know if you can see down there, there's a couple bugs. Still coolant. You can hear it splashing in there. I'll do it again. So nothing's leaked out from there. And then the engine oil, we haven't touched it. Sorry, I'll hold it out. Can you see that? It's
Tip it a little bit. There you go.
Here,
Tip it again.
Tip it?
Yeah, like just twist it.
Here, we'll do this. Look at this. Look at that. It's like brand new engine. I mean, don't get me wrong, the oil has probably lost its properties and everything and should be changed, but this engine has got the original oil filter sitting right here. I don't know how well you can see that. Again, we know you guys are commenting, you guys are saying hi, you might be asking some questions, but we're just trying to get through here and show the car to people. Decals on the side of the fenders. This side of the fender has surface rust. We believe some mice or rats may have been congregating in that area. What is this again, Nick?
It's the maintenance schedule.
So I guess when it was new, that's the maintenance schedule. A little worn out, unfortunately, but you know, the person that owned this car obviously didn't have their intention of storing it originally for 45 freaking years.
Yeah, I think the intention was to maybe get his driver's license, but he never did achieve that. Two of my favorite things under the hood here, the sound deadener underneath the hood. It looks brand new. Personally, I work on a lot of early Volkswagens myself, and they're either falling off or they're taken off because they don't last that long with the heat underneath the hood. And this one it's still up there and it still looks brand new. And this one might be a tricky thing to see here, but when you take off the breather,
You just twist it.
just twist it.
Yeah,
There you go. You might be able to see down in there, you might not.
Down in there, you can see the valve train, and it's like pristine clean. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not. Yeah, you can probably see that. I think they can see it. So I mean, it's just kind of cool seeing this stuff. I don't know. Some people aren't going to get a kick out of it. This is where the prop rod rests for the car, and it's got its original little seal here. Kind of cool. Just I don't know. It's just a time capsule, and that's just what it is, and that's what Nick and I like about it. This brown mark right here that I'm putting the flashlight on, that's from the undercoating that they did back in 1975, and that's what they did along the whole back firewall. That's why that's all brown. It's got a grease on it, and I don't know what they use, but I guess that's just 1975 thinking. I have no idea. I don't know if I mentioned original battery. I think that's pretty much it about the underside here. We'll move on to the interior.
Do exterior, interior.
Yeah, I'll do a quick walk around. So this side of the car was in storage with stuff leaning up all against it. The car had stuff on top of the car. So again, it wasn't stored in the ideal situation. There's a rubber, I don't know how you can see that. Right here, there's a rubber like scrape. At first I was like, well, someone drove against, or the person drove against something, but there were tires leaning against the car as well. So I think that's what that would have been. And
This rubber strip, vinyl strip down the side of the car might be specific to the area. Mike from Langley, close by here, he mentioned that the Peugeot dealers nearby, Brasso Peugeot, they installed this, what he called hideous rubber strip down the side, and that's how you could tell where it came from. It was kind of unique to their cars. I don't know if that's true or not, but
well, Canadian cars definitely had it for sure.
both sides of the cars. It's definitely probably a North American thing for sure, if not just local to here.
Yeah. Here's the filler. Another thing that's kind of cool is just look how soft that is. Not cracked. It's just so pliable. I don't know. Just the simple things, I guess, get us
Original stickers.
interested. We already showed you the hatch. Let's go down the other side. So here's the passenger side. There is rust on the car in spots, but we haven't been able to find a single hole, have we, Nick? No holes, but yeah. So again, it wasn't stored properly, so you kind of, unfortunately, kind of get what you get when you're dealing with a car like this. So here's the interior. We got the door panels here in immaculate condition. The passenger seat here is in relatively good shape. Whoops, sorry. We do have a bit of a nick here, right there. There's the driver's seat. I don't know. There was definitely some rodents that got into the car, and that's why I believe that this is rusty. Maybe not, but I think they were just pissing on it, to be honest with you. The rest of the car, interior is in fairly good shape. Glove box, there's a couple spare parts. This is the side marker light that I believe broke off at one point while it was in the garage and he was throwing stuff against it. This is a fuse kind of container. I don't know if I can open it with one hand. Maybe I'll give the phone to Nick, or here, take that. I don't know if this is original to the car or not, but it was in the glove box, so we thought we'd just leave it. Is it not coming open? No, it's not opening. Here's the keys with the original keychain from Peugeot. Zoom in there. And these are the fuses that I'm talking about that came with the car. Maybe someone can comment about those, if they are kind of original to the car. I have no idea, but they were in the glove box in this special container. I thought they were bullets at first. But car's manual, transmission, never was smoked in. It's all clean. These vents are kind of cool. Nick noticed how they come out. I'm not a Peugeot guy, so I didn't know, but that's kind of cool.
It's not hitting on any of the chrome
Yeah,
here.
the chromes. I'll close this back up. Oh, something's in the way.
The heated seats just kidding, no heated seats.
Yeah, there's not.
But what people do say about the seats is that, well, if they rode in the car when they were younger, or they have ever ridden in a Peugeot, they say this is the comfiest seats they've ever sat in. And when I started doing my research, this was some of the first things I read is about how comfy the seats are. So one of the first things I had to do was climb into the seats and try it out for myself. Can confirm, very comfy seats.
Yeah, they definitely are. Again, the headliner's white. Not a single mark, blemish, nothing on it. It's all in really good shape. We'll move into the back seat in a second. I don't know, Nick, if you're going to be able to pan the odometer or anything like that, but just to show.
Here we go. We got the odometer here. Try and get right in there for you. So it does say
I know Mike T's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
51, and the trip is 29.9.
So Mike T again, I know you're watching. Thank you for your comments. We find them helpful. He said that the place that this thing was probably sold was in North Vancouver, which was about 26 miles?
24 miles.
24 miles from the location where we got the car. And the trip on this car is 29.9, which I guess maybe they took the long way home on their first drive in their new car. I don't know, but it falls true with where the car was probably purchased and where it was, where it ended up.
Not fuses, light bulbs, interior light bulbs.
Big
Ben.
that makes sense.
Thank you, Big Ben.
Okay, nice.
Into the back seat.
Okay. Take out the plastic on that door jamb.
Oh, yes. It still has the green plastic on the door jamb that hasn't been peeled off yet. It's still on both sides of the car. This side's the better side, but yeah. It hasn't been peeled off, as some people refer to sex plastic. It's like when you get your new phone and you peel it off. My speculation is that 1975 seatbelts were not too popular, and that's why the seatbelts are plugged in, buckled up behind the seats. And he didn't have a license, and he didn't care for seatbelts either.
Yeah, no, Nick actually kind of clued into that. This is how we found the car, was the seatbelts were clicked in just as we found them. Back seats, good shape. There's just a little bit of white dusting. I don't know what this white is. It was on the front seats too, but when we had to move the car, it wore off. It's not a mold, but I don't know what it is.
There's like light cracking in the seats from time, but it's still soft and they're not splitting apart the cracks.
We'll flip the seat up. I'll show you guys underneath. No, no animals chewed the leather underneath. Like the whole interior lasted the test of time. Pretty good. We might remove the carpet because it looks like the carpet can be removed without removing the seats. I'm gonna leave this flat. I think the carpet can be removed without removing the seats, I noticed. So I think we might just take these out and pressure wash them and then put them back in. But besides that, everything in here is pretty good shape, and it's just a cool time capsule. I don't know if you got the door panels there or anything.
The door panels are all right. A little dirty, but there's no rips in the door panels. The door jambs, bright and shiny factory paint, still shining to this day.
Which most of this car will shine up to that condition. Again, there is some rust here and there. Like there's a spot you can see coming through here. There's rust.
There is spots around the car, but
it was not stored in the ideal conditions. But that's this 51-mile Peugeot in a nutshell. There, I don't know if you can see in there. There's a vice grip, and we didn't know what that was for originally. But Nick figures that the hood release was so stiff that they didn't want to break the handle, so that's what they used instead of the hood release. I don't know. That's the only thing we can think of.
that's how I've opened the hood. I've pulled on the vice grips to pull the cable to open the hood, so I didn't break the plastic off.
So I don't know. Do we want to ask? We got a couple of minutes to see if anyone has any questions about the car, or I guess if you have any questions, why don't you type below? We'll see if we can answer them. In the meantime, I just want to reiterate, Nick and I, we're not keeping the car. We don't know a value yet. We're still trying to figure that out. Oh, sorry. Keep moving out of the way. We're still trying to figure it out. We just have no idea what this is worth. It's not really about finding the top dollar. It's also about trying to find that true owner out there that really is really wanting a car like this, has the space for it, and has the dedication to either keep it as is or bring it back to the condition that it was new. But I mean, obviously, we would like to get as most as we can, but it's not necessarily about that. We've had lots of people asking, are you going to sell it, or do you want to sell it? Yes, and our response has typically been, you're more than welcome to make an offer, but we just don't have a price. So right now, still, we've only had this car for, again, a week and a half. We weren't looking for this car. We found it, so we knew nothing about it. We're just still doing research, including contacting Peugeot museums over in France. They might have some paperwork that they can scrounge up about this car, which is kind of cool. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. When this group will definitely know when we choose to sell it, if we have a price. This will be the first group to know. It's either going to be sold that way, or we'll choose to use a website somewhere and just auction it off. We're just not too sure which we're going to do right now. But I don't know, did anyone ask any questions in there?
I've not seen any questions.
Okay, that's all good. Not a big deal. I guess just comment below if you see anything that you wanted to, have more pictures, more information, any more details. I love that you guys are liking this car and you guys are following it, and yeah, we'll just keep you posted with any updates or anything like that.
Kurt says some of the Euro cars of that era had a starter interlock on the seat belts. They probably buckled them behind the seats so they didn't have to mess with wearing them to start it. That's a good point.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't even know that they knew it at that stage that this thing had an issue with starting because it was never used. But regardless, definitely an interesting point. Again, Nick and I do not know much about these vehicles, not these ones, the Peugeots, but it's a cool car nonetheless. Everyone dreams about finding a barn find. I found some, but not a low mile barn find like this. This is cool. It really is. Oh, from the 1975, I know we got pictures of it, but we got the matching plate. It was only on with bale wire on the front end, but we do have the matching plate. And all this stuff goes with the car, the way you see it. The tires, the I don't know, radiator. rubber piece there, the winter package, the plates, everything. So I guess that's about it. I don't have closes like new.
It's a great car.
Yeah. All right, guys. I guess that's about it. I guess, whoops, there we go. Thanks for watching. We'll let you guys go. Ask any questions you can. We'll see if we can answer them, and we'll keep you guys posted with the progress of what's happening with the car. Have a good night.